US agents are on their way to London for the Olympics, reportedly to boost security at major airports. The news emerged just days after a private security firm contracted by the British government said it could not provide the staff needed. It'll now be up to the police and the army to make up the shortfall, a solution that's left UK authorities red-faced. Our correspondent Laura Smith with more now from the capital.
As athletes and guests start to arrive here at Heathrow Airport for London's Olympic Games, they'll be met by all the usual sights, including long queues at immigration as UK border officials struggle to cope with the sheer numbers involved. But it won't be just UK officials they'll come across. Some may be surprised to see American agents operating on British soil. The US Transport Administration Authority has reportedly been allowed to bring in its agents in a move aimed at helping British authorities to secure American flights in and out of the UK. The agents apparently won't be allowed past boarding gates or onto UK aircraft, but their mere presence could prove controversial. In the US, they've been accused of performing intrusive pat-downs. It's just the latest concession that Britain's been forced to make to the US, which doesn't believe the Olympic host has done enough to ensure the security of the Games. The American team will reportedly bring with it 500 FBI agents to protect its athletes and diplomats, plus a further 500 security staff, all of whom will be operating on British soil, raising questions about sovereignty. American unease follows a catalogue of failures on behalf of the security company that won the contract for the Games, G4S. Earlier, it admitted it couldn't provide the number of security staff it had promised. That's meant that 3,500 soldiers and hundreds of police have had to be drafted in at the very last minute to plug the shortfall. The head of G4S is appearing before MPs to explain himself and the possibility even more troops may be needed in the coming days.
RT's Laura Smith there, and security expert and author Phil Rees says the Olympic Games are becoming not a celebration of sporting achievement, but of the international security industry.
It's quite a fiasco, isn't it? And I think that the presence of 500 FBI agents walking the streets of London is quite amazing, really, that you've got this hidden layer of security, quite apart from the grand circus that has already been announced, you know, including Rapier ground-to-air missiles, you know, 17,000 British soldiers, many more than are fighting in Afghanistan. So I think it's been a catalogue of shambles. And if I could say one thing about, you know, the whole American presence here, which is, you know, really quite insulting to some extent to the British government and its, you know, security apparatus. And I think the point beyond all this is, you know, what is the threat? Why is this going on in the terms of, you know, it should be a celebration of athletes, and it really is being seen as a celebration of the international security industry. For months in the British papers now, we've had the Home Secretary announcing this part, you know, we're having ground-to-air missiles in Blackheath Park, it's a park in South London, you know, and the soldiers, all of this on British streets. For the first time, there'll be armed soldiers on British streets since the Second World War. I mean, after all, this is meant to be a sporting occasion that celebrates, you know, man's achievement. Well, I mean, what kind of achievement is it that we've got to be almost in a state of war to host it?